Greetings, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of the Breath of Fresh Air Webcast on YouTube. I am Charles Taylor, and I got Patrick Brackett with me. Say what's up, Patrick.
What's up, everybody?
And my man Stan Franklin has returned to the show, laughing it up because he predicted what was going to happen in the Western Conference. Say what's up, Stan.
Feeling pretty good tonight, man. What's up, everybody?
All right. Well, hey, without further ado, let's get started so we can talk about the review from the Western Conference playoffs and the Eastern Conference playoffs, and then we will talk about or preview the NBA Finals and predict our winners. If you've been watching the show, you pretty much already know where we're going with that. But let me start. Let's start
Warriors. I'm going. Spoiler alert: Warriors.
Yeah.
How are you calling it? Warriors and City.
So let me start off by saying I want to apologize to the Golden State Warriors because I was on here last week or a couple of weeks ago when the series was going on and it was tied at 1 before the series went to OKC, and I still said I like the Warriors' chances of winning the series. Last week I came on here with Patrick and I said OKC would probably win Game 6 since they were up 3-2. And I was wrong. And I probably should have just stuck with the original pick. So I was garbage for that. My bad. I apologize. Sorry. But
Steph Curry's laughing at you right now.
it's cool. I bet you Steph Curry's laughing at everybody because so many people keep throwing shade at him, and I don't know why. But I don't understand why. But with that said, Patrick, I'm going to give the floor to Stan to begin because,
Hey, he predicted it. Let him have it.
Yes. So,
Go
Stan,
ahead, Stan.
without further ado, Stan, speak your piece.
I mean, where do I start, man? Where do I start?
Well, you can thank your friends and family and all that stuff.
Do what?
You can thank your friends and family.
I will. I thank my family for supporting me. Well, I take that back. No, nobody supported me in this pick. No one. I had no
It's not on
support.
this webcast. Not on this webcast. Sorry.
No, I was getting flack at home, at work, wherever. Man, I just don't. I can't understand why everybody in this NBA freaking fan base, commentate everybody, they don't give Golden State their due respect, man. These guys are the real deal, and everybody is counting them out. I understand. There's 3-1. Come back from that is just, but you're talking about one of the meanest shooting games in the NBA right now. The Golden State Warriors, like they had no chance, is what everybody was saying when they got 3-1. I mean,
I'll agree with you there.
right. But even before that, people were like, well, Oklahoma City's coming in, and Golden State's probably not going to. Russell Westbrook did not. They were making this dude look out to be a saint. And then they were talking about Draymond Green, how bad of a guy. I was like, oh, so now everybody's a Russell Westbrook friend. And they forget how this do that. I was like, come on, man. Flip-flopping all over the place. Well, I'm here to say, I told you so.
All right. I like it. I like it. Is it my turn?
Go ahead, Patrick.
So it is my turn. All right. First of all, I want to congratulate the Golden State Warriors, man. They did their thing. That's one hell of a comeback. 3-1, it's insane. So congratulations to them. Second of all, I've been saying it all season. Y'all can go back and watch the webcast. I don't care. I said it's going to be one of these 3 teams: San Antonio, Golden State, or OKC. Now, I picked OKC at the beginning of the season. And when they went against San Antonio, I felt San Antonio was a better team. I still feel they're a better team. Because of the experience that San Antonio brings. So I predicted OKC to win it, but by no means did I would ever count out Golden State or San Antonio. So that's in my defense. Now, I did say OKC would take this series in 7 games. I thought that was a lot of respect for Golden State. With that said, I don't care who came out of the West. Hell, sometimes I even think that even if the Clippers came out of the West, I think they could beat. No, never mind. I'm gonna lie on that one. They can't beat Cleveland.
Yeah, that's supreme
No,
shake throwing there.
yeah, I was no. But these three teams are hands down the best three teams in all of basketball. I think OKC is a better team statistically than Golden State, mostly because of the people they have on the court. They are, I still feel they're a better team. But Golden State, how can you argue the fact that they're just a better shooting team? I mean, OKC pushed them. They pushed them to the last minute of Game 7 to win that game. And honestly, by all rights, OKC probably should have won Game 6. But not finishing the fourth quarter reared its ugly head, and it finally took a Game 6 against Golden State to do it. So I tip my hat to Golden State for handling business. Even when the refs started calling fouls like the way they were calling fouls, which I thought was just ridiculous. I thought they should have just let them play. Golden State shook their head and got back down on the court and played defense. OKC, on the other hand, they started pointing fingers. And when you're pointing fingers, you're not going to win. You at that point, you're lost and you don't know how to beat a team. So when I watched the entire series, man, it's just Game 6 and Game 7 was just two of the pathetic games that had haunted OKC for the entire season. So hats off to Golden State for taking care of business, man. Doesn't matter if you're a good team, doesn't matter if you're a great team. That's the difference. Me and Charles always said it. The difference between good teams and great teams is finishing the fourth quarter, finishing the ninth inning. So Golden State, they deserve to be where they're at.
Well, I'm going to throw a couple of things out here. We'll go back to Stan here because Stan pointed out simple math. Simple math. 3 would be 2 all the time. And Golden State hit a lot of threes, especially in Game 6. I think they outscored them. You can fact check me on this. I think it was 63-9 on the 3-pointers. Like in terms of 3-point scoring. 63-9 in Game 6. Fact check me on that if y'all want, but I think that was the score.
I don't need to.
63-9. So, simple math. 3v2, and then when Klay Thompson hit 11 threes in that game. 11.
Yeah.
And then Steph Curry, I think, added 6. Yeah. So, I mean, when you can shoot like that, you are never out of a series, let alone a game. And looking at the pick when I had said OKC was going to win, I started thinking about it a little bit after the webcast. And the one thing that did scare me was the Splash Brothers going off. And that's exactly what they did, is go off.
So credit Golden State for this as well, Charles. I mean, when Golden State put up a number, and you can fact check me on this one because I'm not really sure, but look at what Golden State did that normally they don't do, and that's out-rebounded OKC in Game 6 offensively by 14. OKC has prided themselves on offensive rebounds all season. And then they turn around, even when Golden State goes small ball, they still out-rebounded them. That's a problem. You got Russell Westbrook, you got that tall Adams, and you got Kevin Durant all on the court, and you're still getting out-rebounded by Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry. Steph Curry had more rebounds than Russell Westbrook in the third quarter. What the hell is that?
Well, I know a lot of people have been throwing shade at OKC for how things went in Game 7, saying Durant and Westbrook were playing hero ball. Now, I'm not going to say that because if you look at these stats right here, Durant shot 19 shots in that game. He probably should have shot more. Westbrook shot 21. Yeah, maybe he should have shot a few more. But the other guys, they really didn't step up in game 7. Here we go. Steven Adams was, I think, 4 of 11. Dion Waiters was 2 of 9 in that game. Andre Robertson was 2 of 11 in that game also.
Also with 7 turnovers.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it went in reverse. I'll put it that way. It went in reverse. I think on the road, if you're a team on the road, your superstars have to set the tone right away. At home, you can get your other teammates involved because most of the role players, they will play better at home. Just kind of happens that way. It went in reverse. I think in game 6, Durant and Westbrook tried to win it by themselves. They came out there. Durant shot 19 shots in the first half of game 6. And in this game, game 7, I felt like they did a pretty good job of trying to get everybody involved in that shoot. They had a 13-point lead, but that's shooting. And look, everybody wants to say Oklahoma City choked, whatnot. No, Golden State took that series from them.
Golden State won.
I was telling some people about this other day. It was a gut check for both teams. Anytime you get to a game 7, it's a gut check for both teams, especially for Golden State since they were down 3-1 and Oklahoma City's on the verge to hand it back over to them. And Golden State wanted it more in the sense that when they came out the third quarter, because that's when Oklahoma City actually lost the game. Everybody's like, oh, it was a fourth quarter. No, Oklahoma City lost the game after halftime. They came out in the third quarter because Golden State came out, hit them in the mouth, and they could not recover because turnovers came more prevalent after the half.
Stan, are you talking about game 6?
Huh?
You talking about game 6 or 7?
He's talking about game 6.
7.
What's happening?
Oh, no. See, well, I'm going to disagree with you. I think Golden State started taking control right at the end of the second quarter in game 6.
No, absolutely. But I'm saying when they started taking control, but when they lost the game, was critical for them was coming out of the half, out of the break in the third quarter.
I thought they started losing it at the end of the second quarter because that went from a 13-point lead to only 6. And that's when Golden State started putting their wheel. Now, when they really started losing game 6, I'll totally agree with you. It was in third quarter because that's when Russell Westbrook was like trying to shoot 30 feet from the freaking goal, and every time he gets the ball slapped, I ain't never seen somebody have a seizure in mid-flight. I mean, this guy got his arms and legs going everywhere, and I'm like, dude, get your ass back down on the court and get the freaking ball.
Yeah, I think in game 6, that was a defining moment in the series. So I see what you're saying, Stan, but I'll agree with Patrick on that one, and here's why. In games 3 and 4 in OKC, the second quarter was where OKC put distance between them and Golden State. I mean, they scored 72 points in both of the first halves in games 3 and 4. It was kind of at that point in game 6 where OKC had a 10, 12-point lead. The crowd is on fire. It looked like OKC was about to run away again, but Golden State hung in there. And instead of being down by 25 or 19 points, they were only down 5.
Right.
I think that was kind of a gut punch to OKC because it's like, all right, Golden State ain't going nowhere. And then you start seeing Russell Westbrook flailing everywhere.
I've never seen that, dude.
Durant was doing his thing. I mean, I agree because, that OKC was trying to knock him out. It didn't happen. And you could say this for both games. I guess that champion, what they always say, don't underestimate the heart of the champion, and Golden State definitely showed that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But I'm going back to game 7. You have to. Go back to the game. You watch the tape and watch how Russell Westbrook ran the offense coming out of that, going into that second half, because he wasn't attacking the basket like he was beforehand. When they lose,
I know what you're talking about.
Watching offense happen, they can't have that from him. And Kevin Durant was taking some little touches going in the paint and just looking at the ref like, I need a call, opposed to trying to be dominant and actually score the bucket. So for them, mentally, they had checked out. That's what I'm saying. Like they
Oh,
were not trying to get back to their game.
Oh, I totally agree with you there. Because when you're going into a game 6 and game 7, again, me and Charles, and I know you've heard us say this. I think you even said it a couple of times with us. Um, don't leave the game in the ref's hands. You
Right.
never leave the game in the refs. And now we're coming in game 6 and game 7. I can tell you right now, in game 6, those refs let them play.
Yeah.
Game 7, I wouldn't agree with it as much, but I also agree with the way the refs handled it because it was starting to get really chippy between Draymond Green and Adams.
Right. Yeah.
And they had to call fouls to control the game. So I totally agree with how all the games were being called. But,
Draymond Green DDT'd himself. I watch out to know that.
Yeah, that one.
How can you do that?
And then they double fouled him. I wouldn't have fouled either one of them. I would have said play.
Yeah, I would have let that play on too.
Just let it play on. But it started getting chippy between them two. And when it starts getting chippy, you got to make calls. So I'm not, me personally, I'm not going out there saying, hey, I'm looking for a foul. I'm saying you take your ass to the bucket and score. And get to the free throw line if they give it to you. If you don't, then you get your butt back down and play some defense and stop whining. And that's all I saw OKC doing in games at the end of game 6 and all of game 7. They were whining.
Yeah.
And you can't win. You can't win whining. You can't win pointing fingers. You got to play the game, and they didn't.
Right.
So in that sense, you got to give Golden State all the credit, man. I mean, they came in and OKC had the series, and Golden State took it from them.
Yeah.
So part of a champion, man, you can't put it past Golden State. Now, with that said, I never counted them out. I will tell you, I got Golden State winning this series in 6, and I honestly think that they'll probably do it on purpose just to win it on Cleveland's court. Because I the hell with Cleveland.
Well, speaking of Cleveland, Patrick, you just led into it. We'll get back on Golden State a little bit more in a minute. But with Cleveland coming out of the Eastern Conference, now look, y'all. Look, I know we all said Cleveland was right for the taking.
They still are.
In the East, not anymore, Patrick. Not in the East. And so,
no, not in the East, but they're right for the taking now.
Well, but going back, talking about the East, and look, man, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. I mean, I told you there wasn't a team in the East that I saw that could take advantage of Cleveland's shortcomings, man. I mean, I know. Now, Patrick, I know this one's sore for you because you had Atlanta.
Dude, nobody shoots 115% from the three-point line. Nobody. 115%. Yes, they shot over 100% against Atlanta. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You hit 90 of 85 three-pointers. That's amazing. That's amazing.
I love that math. Yeah.
Do that math. I don't even know how they did it, but they did it. 90 of 85. Do the math. I don't know how they did
it. And Stan, I mean, hey, are you surprised? I mean, I know you said Miami probably had the best chance, but man, Miami, even if Miami was able to keep Hassan Whiteside healthy, I think you have to be able to show some sort of a killer instinct there. If you have Charlotte down 2-0, you got to put them down. Charlotte's a good team. I'm not trying to take nothing away from Charlotte, but when I saw Miami was kind of struggling there, I was like, I don't know, man. They might get a game or two. As it turned out, it was Toronto who got 2 games from them. The team that none of us
teams in the world, right? Suck-ass team got 2 from Cleveland. And Atlanta, who was better, me personally, I think is a better team, couldn't get 1. They were 1 for 15 against Cleveland in the past 2 years.
Patrick, man, I'm sorry, man. Atlanta done lost how many in a row to Cleveland? It's like double digits, man. I think that's just a bad matchup for
11. They've lost 11 straight against Cleveland. And until that third world country of Georgia decides to actually spend some money in sports, we ain't gonna win shit. Look at Braves. Look at the Braves. What the hell is that? I don't even know what that is.
So to answer your question, Charles, I was a little bit more fan optimistic about Miami coming out of there and doing some things. I saw a lot of good things. I really did. I didn't expect them to kind of implode and lose Whiteside, and I think that kind of took them out of their momentum. But I did see a lot of good things out of them. When it comes to a team knocking off Cleveland coming out of the East, I still don't think I was wrong because I think Toronto, but the team they actually exposed a lot of stuff out of Cleveland. Cleveland just had the opportunity to get hot and get in a good rhythm. But I think we all can agree we've also seen Cleveland when they've imploded pretty much like Oklahoma City did. We've seen that out of them, and they still got it in them. I don't think they fixed everything they need to fix, so they're not bulletproof. Definitely not yet. But I think that if they wouldn't have been able to catch and click like they did towards the end there, I could have definitely still seen the Raptors taking that from because the Raptors they were hitting them pretty hard. They were hitting them really hard.
I agree. I mean, but then when I looked at that series against Toronto and Cleveland, those refs were letting them play. I mean,
Yeah.
when LeBron James in Game 6 went to the free throw 8 times, 8 shots. So he went to the free throw 4 times in that game. That to me is letting me know that they're letting them play.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving in Game 6 didn't hit the free throw line until the fourth quarter, twice. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they pretty much let them play unless it was just something absolutely they had to call. And I think that really frustrated Cleveland a lot of times, and I think it really frustrated Toronto a lot of times. I think it frustrated Toronto more than it did Cleveland.
Yeah.
But they were letting them play, and when you let a team play like that, especially when nobody was getting calls in Game 3 and 4. Nobody. I mean, I think there was total. Toronto went. You might have to fact check me on this one. 12 for 17 from the free throw line. 17 shots total in a game, and Cleveland had right around the same. I mean, it's normally you're seeing one person go to the line and shooting 17 shots. So, yeah, I mean, I thought it was an excellent series. I think Toronto could beat them. I think Toronto, they're still right for the picking. I think anybody in the East could almost beat Cleveland. Just LeBron in the balls and let it go.
Here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. Cleveland, yes, they are right for the taking.
But they're good enough.
I'll agree on that. But
They're good enough.
You need firepower to take that out. In Toronto's case, it is too much for Lowry and DeRozan to carry all that load. It just is. They need more firepower there. Miami, I think they probably had enough, but can they be consistent enough to do that 4 times in a given 7-game series? As I said, to me, it's not a question. It was never a question about Cleveland getting beat in a couple of games. Because you do it 4 times in a 7-game series, you have to be able to have that firepower there. No team in the East, in my opinion, was going to be consistent enough to do that. That's why I said they're good enough to get out of the East. Not so much they're just so much better than everybody else. But those other teams, whether it's Toronto, whether it's Atlanta, whether it's Boston, whether it's Charlotte, whether it's Miami, whoever, you have to be able to sustain some firepower with them because one thing Cleveland can do, they can score. If they are healthy, they can score. Kyrie Irving is a pretty gifted offensive player. Kevin Love, when he gets hot from 3, he can put up some points. Same with J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, all these other guys, Channing Frye, and all those other dudes. You can score on Cleveland, though, because those other dudes, just as explosive as they are offensively, especially Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, you can expose them dudes very bad on the defensive end because they just can't play defense. They're not good at it. But in the East, I just don't see that team who was going to exploit that, which is why, unfortunately, I had to pick Cleveland because I didn't see any team to do that. Now, none of us saw Atlanta getting bombarded with 77 3-pointers. None of us saw that.
90 for 85, Charles, over 90 for 85. Nobody ever saw that. Nobody. Who is? Dude, the only team that puts up that many 3-pointers is Golden State.
Hey, and that's what Stan told me. He sent me a text talking about who do they think they are, Golden State?
Yeah, I did. I did.
They drive me crazy.
But you know what? Hey, since we're on Golden State and Cleveland, well, hey, let's go ahead and dive into this matchup.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so just hey, all right, just like I said just a couple of minutes ago, with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love being exploited on defense. Patrick, Stan, Golden State is going to pick and roll these dudes to death because they are going because they are going. It's going to be Steph Curry, Draymond Green pick and rolls all day, every day because those will be the dudes Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love most likely will be guarding. That is going to be.
What we call that play ball?
Be it for 85 paint points from Golden State. And 85 from the 3-point line. I got them beating them 160 to 9. Game 1. I'm throwing it out there. 160 to 90. Golden State. Game 1.
Oh, so man, I've been waiting for this series, all playoffs, and I tell you why. Because first of all, we're gonna get some phenomenal basketball play, right? We're going to see some Giants again. We're going to see some phenomenal ball.
It's a legacy series, though. This is legacy right here.
Yeah. So what we're going to see, some key things, right? For the Cavs, everybody's on hoopla about them scoring all these threes and they've been able to shoot the ball well, but a factor for them is going to be this rest period because you just mentioned it a second ago. They got some streaky shooters, man. Love, they're streaky, so you can't count on them to come off, especially after a period where they didn't cool off, come in fire. You may see them with adrenaline and everything like that. You may see a good performance, but to sustain that, I just don't see that happening. They caught them at a good rhythm. They were in a good peak, but that peak period is kind of dwindling on them. So we might see a good spike in it, but you're not going to get that still going in with the Golden State team that's back at it. They had a couple of games, couple of hiccups, but now they're back and they're rolling, firing, and I just don't know how they're going to combat that. And then 2, their own selves. I mean, we watched it countless times. When the pressure is on, fingers getting to pointing, people getting long-faced and upset, and they just fall apart. And they haven't fixed that. I'm not sold on them being a collective team with one goal to get this done. I just don't see it. Maybe they'll prove me wrong, but I just don't see that.
They won't.
And as far as Golden State, man, they're just so hot right now. The one thing that Cleveland could potentially do, and we saw Oklahoma City do a good job in this when their games was chase them off the line. They can do that. They could pretty much chase them off the line, but to do that 4 quarters or 4 games,
people.
Right? To
With
do
5
that
people.
Quarters.
Because who's going to come off the bench for Cleveland?
Yeah.
Well, here's another thing though, real quick. Cleveland could do that, but with OKC has a lot of length and athleticism.
Yes.
Cleveland is not bringing that type of length and athleticism like that. Now they might be able to chase a little bit, but especially when OKC went to that quote unquote small lineup with 2 7-footers. when you have the lineup that they ran out there was Westbrook, Roberson, Waiters, Durant, and Ibaka. That's a lot of length and athleticism that they can do, and then they can switch those screens as well.
Yep.
Cleveland is not bringing that type of length and athleticism like that. They have a couple of players who can do that, but man, I just don't see Cleveland with that type of defensive intensity. They might run a couple of traps at Steph Curry or something just to kind of give them like a couple of
Different looks.
different looks or something like that. But one thing with Golden State also that I have to give them credit for, they are so very, very, very good at adjusting on the fly.
God.
If
Yes.
if you throw a trap at Steph Curry, he is such a willing passer. So you might get him the one play. That next play, let me hit Draymond Green. Go ahead and dribble. Let me hit Harrison Barnes or Andre Iguodala on the corner. Oh, and I got Klay Thompson, the other splash brother, on the wing. And so, and so that's the thing. I don't know. I'll give my prediction in a little
Is
bit.
Cleveland putting 6 people on the court? Because that's what they're gonna need.
Cleveland better dress everybody. Cleveland better dress everybody and hope that the coach can wear a jersey. And maybe even pull some people from the stands.
Right.
Because I'm telling you right now, this team right here, this Golden State team, is going to wax the floor with Cleveland. Like Charles said, they're not fast enough. They're not speedy. They don't have the athleticism. They don't have the length. They may have a little bit of the length, but that length comes in Kevin Love and LeBron James, who is flat out just too freaking lazy on the defensive side.
Kevin Love is slow though, man. I mean, that's
slow.
They can exploit
God,
that.
I think I've seen turtles run faster than this dude.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, this guy. I mean, Kevin Love. I don't know. People are, oh, Kevin Love's good. He shoots 25%. Oh yeah, well he sucks. Sucks.
I do think he's a little overrated. I mean,
A little.
A little. Like,
Oh, he can stand camera high five. Pow.
yes. Boom.
A little. Kevin Love sucks, dude.
I've never seen what people saw. I'm sorry. I really don't. Like, okay, yeah, he's in the NBA. Yeah, he's been a scorer. But really? Kevin, are you going to bet on Kevin Love?
He blew somebody to get in the NBA. Let's just be real with it. And then so this whole series. I mean, look, bench. Let's start with the bench. I'm going to start with the bench. Golden State is deep. They have people that come off that bench. The bench points, man, is just insane. If Iguodala is starting or if he's coming off the bench, dude, the guy is willing to play wherever. And it doesn't matter. So if Iguodala does come off the bench, he's still putting in 30, 40 minutes in the game. So it's a great addition to have to a team who is like Stan was saying, the entire team is committed. They have one fight, one goal.
Yeah.
And it's to win. Cleveland, on the other hand, they're still pointing fingers. When you got Kevin Love whiplashing himself, saying that LeBron James.
You do it right, Patrick. You gotta.
Oh, I gotta get my eye roll.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah.
There it goes.
There it is. And then LeBron James. Okay, now let's fast forward to what LeBron James is saying about Steph Curry today, this morning. Oh, I'm not worried about that. Yeah, they asked him. They have. I mean, let me clear it. They asked him, how does it feel to what is your thoughts on being the underdog in this series? Oh, I'm not worried about that. Okay, look, dude. Steph Curry has waxed your ass several times this season. 1. 2. Everybody's like, well, LeBron James is just feeding the fire on Steph Curry. Look, Steph Curry has been getting blasted all season for 2 years. He's dropping 51 points on your ass. It doesn't matter. You can talk about him or you don't talk about him. Guess what? 51 points. Here it comes. Get over it. And he's showing no respect to this Golden State team who just went 73-9 and has home court advantage. You're an idiot, LeBron James, and you can freaking suck it. He's an idiot. He needs to be slapped.
You're turning red, Patrick. It's so funny.
Well, 1, I don't like LeBron James, and 2, it's hot in this damn corner. And now I'm starting, and you know how I feel about LeBron James anyway.
Starting to itch.
I'm starting to itch, dude. LeBron James. I don't like him.
Well,
Him and his patchy hair. He's got hair missing here, 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 and here. Look, dude, at least mine's unison where it's missing. His hair
well,
follicles don't even know if they want to stay or go. Just like the
before
rest of his teams.
before we make our predictions, I do wanted to point out something that Patrick said. And again, man, I don't get the hate Steph Curry gets and or the team. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It is they're going out here. They're setting records. Seems like every game they play, they're setting some sort of a record, some sort of a
Somehow.
3-point record. They got better from a team last year that won 67 games and won the title. Before that happened, or excuse me, while they were winning the title, it was, oh, they got a break. They didn't have to play the Clippers or they didn't have to play the Spurs in the playoffs last year. And then they beat a Cleveland team where LeBron James didn't have his running mates with him. It was excuse after excuse after excuse. So Golden State said, well, all right, whatever. If you want to say that, that's cool. Well, we'll win 73 games this year. And and then we'll get through this gauntlet called the Western Conference playoffs and come back from a 3-1 deficit. Now you have your rematch with Cleveland. There is absolutely positively no excuse for LeBron anymore. Everybody keeps giving this man a pass on stuff, whatever it is. Look, he's got his guys with him. Kyrie Irving's healthy. Kevin Love is healthy. He got the head coach he wants. Everything is in his favor now, the way he wanted it. If they don't win this time, which I don't think they will, I got the Warriors in 6. I'll just go ahead and throw it out there. I got the Warriors in 6. But if Cleveland doesn't win this, no more passes. Stop giving this man a pass. And this is to you, the fans, all you fans out there who want to continue to give LeBron all these passes, get all these excuses. Stop it. No
Suck
more
it.
excuses for this man at
Suck
all.
it.
None.
Suck it.
Warriors. Thanks, Patrick.
You're on notice. Tell him he's on notice.
Well,
Warriors in 6. Warriors in 6.
Charles got the Warriors in 6. What you got?
Man, I think I'm gonna go with 6. I'm gonna go with 6. I can't, it is LeBron James, and he has the fortitude to pull out a couple. So, I give him that. I think we're gonna. I think it's a repeat of last year, man. I think they go down.
So my turn, since everybody already knows what I'm saying. Okay, look, it's like this: LeBron James, 2-4 in finals history. He better show up, because if he doesn't show up, I don't think we should call him King James anymore. If he does not win this series, King James has been dethroned, and you might as well go ahead and call it King Steph. I'm putting it out there. ESPN, if you're not following suit, you suck too. It's like this. I got the Warriors in 6. Would not be surprised one bit if it goes 5. Just to win at home court. Because last year they had to win in Cleveland.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they take one in Cleveland. They may win this in 5. I was a little bit exaggerated on that game 1 victory. I do have Golden State waxing them, though. I will say I got them about 120-90. But it wouldn't surprise me one bit to watch Golden State win this game at home, game 5. Give their fans something to celebrate with the team.
Yeah. And real quick, the thing with this matchup now, yes, LeBron has Kyrie and Kevin with him. I think if you're going to play Golden State, you have to be able to I think you're gonna do it better defensively than you are offensively, only because if you feel like you can get in a shooting match with Golden State and win, I just feel like that's the wrong approach. And all the moves, I just and all the moves Cleveland made were geared toward spreading the court. When you pick up a guy like Channing Frye, you're trying to get more shooting on the court. You're going to play J.R. Smith more, and you're trying to get Kevin Love farther out there to the three-point line. You're trying to shoot it up.
Yeah.
And, yeah, like Stan pointed out, they did have the performance against Atlanta, but those shooters are streaky. So as quick as they can go, J.R. Smith, perfect example. As quick as he can go 8 of 9, the next game he can go 0 of 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the thing with it, man. I feel like Cleveland, if they're to have any chance, they better do something on defense. If we're seeing a bunch of 120 to 110 games, this series might be shorter than what we're predicting. But you're not going to beat Golden State in these shootouts.
Yeah.
No, Steph Curry doesn't even have to follow through, and he makes shots.
Yeah, it's just a little quicker leap.
Yeah.
And real quick, y'all.
With Steph Curry, he's just like, and the ball is still floating in the air. It's still floating. He's already back on defense. Everybody else is already back on defense. The whole crowd has already cheered for the shot. Cleveland's gonna be sitting down there going, "Well, there's 3-0. Okay, cool. Where's Golden State? Oh, they're celebrating their win. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Okay, that's how it's gonna be."
One thing real quick about Klay Thompson before we wrap the show up. Klay Thompson, I think he is an elite, not just good. He is an elite player in this league. I think one of the best two-way players in the league. And y'all can tell me, y'all can get on me real quick if y'all feel this is a little high. But I right now would take him over. I would take him over Paul George. I would take him over Jimmy Butler. The only guy I might not take him over is Kawhi Leonard. But other than that, dude, I think Klay Thompson is he's an underrated guy, man. I think he's an elite player in this league. What y'all think?
You want me to go first, Dan?
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I should have said something.
Look, as much, dude, Steph Curry is the man. All right, he is. He is very deserving of his first team All-Star. But I also think Klay Thompson should be there as well. With that said, I mean, I know that you got your top 5, and that's fine because they're not going to put two people from the same team on the first team All-Star. Klay Thompson made second team All-Star. I'm fine with that. It's hard for me. Like, look. I mean, I have a question for y'all. I mean, everybody's all this whole unanimous thing for Steph Curry as a All-Star or an MVP. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, honestly, I don't think he's the most valuable player on that team. It was proven in the first series when they only scored 2 points less than what Steph Curry brings to the table. So, with all that said, I mean, is Klay Thompson an elite player? Absolutely. I think he is very deserving to be on the first team All-Star. I would always say that because he is a very good shot. He has a very good shot. He plays very good defense. He's quick. He does everything he needs to do for his team to win. And if Steph Curry's out, he picks up the load. If Iguodala is out, he picks up the load. If anybody is out, he'll play any position and he can play them very well.
No, I agree. I'm not too far from what you guys are saying about Klay Thompson. I think that he doesn't get enough credit, but I think he's okay with that right now, which is good for that team. You know, he's okay where he is, and he's okay putting in the work that he puts in, and supporting his team the way he does, which is phenomenal. You can't get that. You don't get guys on most teams where you can get two. I mean, I'm gonna call it 2 superstars to play together as well as they do and not have an issue where people are saying, oh, should he be number one or whose team is it really? Like they know their roles, they accept their roles, and they play ball, which is phenomenal. You don't even get that out OKC, and they got 2 of the top 5 players in the NBA right now playing.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't get it together in that sense. There's always something. There's always an understory about who is what, who should take over. They don't have to do that. They pick up the slack in Golden State between, those guys and they roll with it. That's the difference between these other teams. You're not going to see that with anyone else in superstars that they got on their team, which I think is phenomenal. And, yeah, you're right. He deserves a lot more credit, and I hope he gets it. But I hope they keep that same team mentality as they go forward, though.
Oh, I agree. I do have one more thing to say. You said it best, Stan. The reason why they play those roles is because they're bought in on the system.
Yeah.
They're bought in, and they have that one goal. Nobody else in the NBA, I can tell you, I don't see it. Nobody else in the NBA has that one goal. Maybe San Antonio.
Yeah.
But that's it. Everybody else is like you said with OKC. They're pointing fingers if they're losing, and they're trying to get all the fame if they're winning. I can say this about OKC with those 2 players. You're really starting to see Russell Westbrook step into that acceptance role. Many times during the final shot of any of these series, you're watching Russell Westbrook give that ball to Kevin Durant and let him do his thing.
Yeah.
Maybe mostly it's because Russell Westbrook knows he's going to get his triple-double.
Right.
That dude gets a triple-double. He had 4 triple-doubles in these playoffs. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people ask me, who would you build your team around? I'll tell you right now, I would build mine around Russell Westbrook. He's a fantastic player. I think he needs to grow up a little bit, but you're starting to see that from him. And with Kevin Durant's contract coming up this year, I'm really hoping to see Russell Westbrook grow up a lot in the offseason, and Kevin Durant come back to OKC and stay in that small market to give OKC a chance to win a title. But they need to go get some help too.
I do think Durant will be back. First of all, I think he'll be back at least for another year. He might sign one of those 1-year or 2-year deals with the option for the second year, because Westbrook and Serge Ibaka, they will go into the final year of their contracts next year. I do see Durant coming back.
Well, you're a little bit more optimistic than me, but yeah.
You don't think so? I mean, there's a chance he can go, definitely, but I think he'll be back, at least for next year.
Well, if he does go, where do you think he'll go? I can tell you where I think he'll go.
Where?
I think San Antonio loses LaMarcus Aldridge and brings in Kevin Durant.
No. No.
You know they'll try, though. You know they'll try.
They just signed LaMarcus Aldridge, man. No.
Anybody can trade.
No.
Nobody, dude.
No.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man.
You go to New York? You go to New York with LeBron James. Is that what you tell me?
No, I'm not telling you that at all. But I don't think he goes to San Antonio.
I think he stays in OKC too. I honestly think that he stays in OKC. Like you said, he'd probably do that 1 and out kind of thing. I'll sign a 1-year contract. Let's see where everybody goes with Ibaka and Westbrook. I think he stays in OKC.
Did you guys watch this press conference earlier today?
I did.
So in that, I think he was doing everything in his power to not talk in past tense, and he kind of slipped up in a couple of sense. I think he's really leaning. Something may change, but I think he's really leaning to, shopping some other options, man. I don't know if they got him. I don't think as of right now they have him back in Oklahoma City. Let me just say it that way.
Well, he should.
Yeah, he should definitely explore his options.
He should always explore his options. That's what makes a smart businessman.
Right. I just don't think that right now they're going to have him back. I really don't. And I don't think it's a money thing. I think he's getting older. He's been in the league for a little bit now. And
he wants a championship.
He wants a championship. So he may come. He may go do something like LeBron, and then get one and then come. But he's going to be hunting for a championship, man. And what system is going to really bring him in and really, cater to him and cultivate him? There's no other than Miami, man. I said my eyes.
All right.
To Atlanta.
You know what? Look, I was just about to ask you, what team do you see that in terms of, because you're right, it might not be about the money or some of those other factors that might go into it. If he's trying to win, great. What situation out of those teams do you see him going to besides staying in OKC? And then you said Miami.
Yeah.
Well, I would say Atlanta, but who the hell wants to go play?
Hey, Dwight Howard might come there, though.
Dude, I swear to God, dude, he better not.
Ooh.
I will travel to Dallas.
Atlanta's home for him. I want to come back home.
Him and his 9 kids and 17 baby mamas. We don't need that drama, dude. We do not need that drama. I'm already getting depressed about that. Don't
I think he got some more kids since the last time I was on here.
I think he does.
According to Patrick.
He got more baby mamas too, did you know?
I see that.
19, 17 baby mamas.
Oh, man.
Lord, please help Atlanta do not get Dwight Howard. I'd much rather have Andrew Biden.
Oh, wow.
Hey, man, he resurfaced the other day, man. He got blonde hair now. And
yeah, bring him. Bring him. At least when we get dunked on, he'll be like, Dwight Howard just, no, please, no. I can't do that.
Well, on that note, y'all, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for this edition of the Breath of Fresh Air webcast. I'd like to thank Patrick Brackett and Stan Franklin for getting on here with me for this edition, and enjoy the NBA Finals. We will be back on here to talk about the results of it. So until then, like the webcast and like it on Facebook and Google Plus. You guys know all the rest. Until then, you guys have a good weekend and enjoy the NBA Finals.